Well, 10 days after you guys won the title, the WWF finally acknowledged you at a TV taping on 2/17. They claimed that Jimmy Hart struck Hawk with his megaphone, which isn't actually what happened in front of a live audience. But now Jimmy Hart was jumping from managing the natural disasters to managing yourself in IRS. The disasters would subsequently turn babyface, claiming that Hart cheated them out of their title shot against the LOD. You and Mike are both great talkers here. Why do you think the decision was made to put you with Jimmy Hart?
I'm really not sure. That's and I was kind of like, uh, okay. And to Jimmy's credit, I mean, he was great on the mic,
Yeah,
but I didn't feel like we necessarily needed a manager. But I don't know. Maybe it was Vince trying to make our tag team, that much more. I don't know, give it more
a little more
buzz.
oomph.
Yeah, I don't know. Because like Mike's not a bad talker, I've always been good on the interviews. So I mean, to be to be the full banana, you got to be able to do both. And a lot of times, and I think I've said this before, a lot of times managers would be given to guys that were great in the ring, but weren't so great on the microphone, and so
Right.
they would be given a manager to do the talking for them. And in our case, we didn't really need it, but we got it.
Yeah, that's why this whole thing really stuck out to me because I was like, they were both really good interviews. So it feels bizarre to pull Jimmy away from the natural disasters, who maybe weren't so strong on the mic, and give them to you guys. But
Yeah,
in any case, it was cool, like, seeing you
yeah,
guys come to the ring with Jimmy, and he'd have, like, his, painted, jacket on with you guys on the back. It was awesome.
yeah.
It just kinda didn't make sense on paper, but I do wanna ask, everybody seems to have one, so let's see if you've got one. Any good Jimmy Hart stories?
Uh, well, I know Jimmy has this thing about being on time.
Mm,
Oh my gosh, Jimmy shows up. I mean, if your flight leaves at 9 o'clock in the morning, he's going to be there at 7. I mean, Jimmy was just he was that if there was a thing about Jimmy, it was that. It was like, you didn't have to ever worry about Jimmy being late because he was ridiculously early. uh,
man,
I don't know. Has
what a
anybody ever said
character.
that?
I have heard that
Yeah.
elsewhere,
Oh
and man,
yeah.
just what a character.
You couldn't ask for a nicer guy.
Oh, amazing
Oh,
guy,
unbelievable.
amazing guy.
And it's kind of like what was it? What was his group? The Gentrys.
Yes.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit because I was a big Elvis Presley fan, and when Elvis passed away, I was like everybody else, shocked that he died so young, 42.
Oh,
And if there's one entertainer that I ever would have gone out of my way to meet, it would have been him. And Jimmy, Jimmy had met him, had been around him some, but I mean, so I always bugged Jimmy about Elvis.